How's it going, guys? Carson back with another quick comic call. That's right, we're going to make it real quick tonight because, well, there's a storm going on outside, and I at least wanted to be semi-consistent here. So we're going to do a very quick live stream / comic call. I got a chance to go to a local Comic-Con about an hour away or so, and I'd actually left with an okay backpack full of comics, surprisingly, because besides the stuff I showed the last few weeks, I've really been finding a ton outside of my local shop. So I was happy to go to a con and, get some cheaps, basically. Love those cheaps. But speaking of cheaps, we got to go to the chat because we got the Great Legend Show hanging out in the chat. He says, hashtag finish the story. And he's still trying to build up funds to get Drew that Series X Xbox so we don't have to play the Xbox One version of everything. We play as a team together, so buy Drew a new Xbox hashtag. And he also says, best channel right here. Thanks for letting me win against Drew. You were instrumental in holding Chad back so he wouldn't Chad my victory over Drew. I like how Chad through WWE 2K23 has now became a verb. So look at the adjective, Chad. There we go. All right. We're going to get into some comics here because, like I said, we're going to make this real quick tonight because I still got to add some stuff. I'll talk about that stuff at the end of all this. So probably I'll just probably end up showing the nicest stuff first, basically, because I got this big stack for $10. They were supposed to be $1 a piece, but I went to give the guy, I think there's like 14 books here. He's just like, 10's fine. I'm like, oh, okay. I think he was just, like the time I tried to sell at a local con. Basically, I was just trying to get rid of some of my collection and offering deals of dollar stuff and, trying to clear out a few things. I think this guy's trying to do the same thing. He just bought a table, brought a bunch of his collection that was taking up room and reads that he wasn't like, in love with, and he's just wanted to get rid of it basically. So I got these for less than $1 a piece, actually. So got the entire run of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow for less than $1, which if you've been paying attention to the channel, this is how we brought back Modern Men, basically. So I got to read it digitally, and the only issue I had, in the bins over here is a Gary Frank copy of issue 1. So I was very happy to find the whole run for less than $1. And I think this thing basically sells for like 70, upwards of $75 on eBay right now. So to find it for less than $1 a piece, I was pretty happy with that. So I'll definitely be hanging on to this for quite a while because I really like this run. I'm not going to talk too much more about it because there's a whole review on my channel of just this read. So you guys can go check out that episode of Modern Men if you want to know more about Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. But spoilers for that episode, I liked it. So happy to find these for less than $1. And then the other little bit of a bundle I found. I haven't read this one. I thought about reading it digitally, but they were cheap enough. I just picked them up. Plus the cover artist and the writer, who I've met the writer a bunch of times before. It's Tim Seeley, another great artist, but he mainly does writing now. But both of them are going to be at C2E2. Might get an issue 1 signed. We'll see. But I found He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse. I thought this concept sounded kind of cool, so I decided to try it out for, less than $1 an issue. So there's issue 1, issue number 2, and I don't know how individualized these are, if it reads as like one big, like 6-issue miniseries, or if it's broken up, because I noticed in 4 through 6, it's got the artist Tom Derenick on the title, who I've bought a bunch of sketch art from, and he's very awesome. So I'll definitely at least want to read the second half of this. Just so I can see the Tom Derenick art, because I really like his art. And if you ever see him open up his commission list or just see him selling his stuff online, it's like the best value in commissions you could probably get. So a lot of cool people worked on this, so I decided to pick it up. Great Legend Show says, Cheaps, my middle name. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Did a segment on horror books last week on my Tuesday night live stream. And I found some more to add to that pile I showed last week, luckily. So none of these, I think the most expensive one was $5, which is the first one. It came in a nice Mylar and everything, looked like a clean copy. Vault of Evil number 11. So any of these like quarter or less Bronze Age horror books that I see, and if they're that clean, $5 or less, I'll probably pay that every time, no matter what the title is. Just usually if the cover looks kind of cool and they're from this era, I'll usually go ahead and pick them up for my collection. So that's $5, probably the most expensive one I picked up. This next one was $4. It's a nice Kaluta cover on that. Very clean looking copy considering it has, black borders on it. Weird Worlds presents Iron Wolf. That is number 10. So I thought that looked like a really cool cover too. And then I think, I did have a $3 one. So I found a House of Mystery 197. $3. I paid exactly what it was worth. It is lower grade. It does have shipping on the side there, a little bit of staining, but these books are starting to get a little bit more difficult for me to find. So I'm kind of like raising my price point minimum to try to keep run filling my collection. Because for a while I was finding them for like $2 or $3 in antique shops. And then fortunately that well kind of just dried up. So yeah, anytime I see them for about this price, I'll pick them up. I think the last 3 were $1. Always got to shut the Mastodon when I see a Weird War Tales. This is Weird War Tales number 17. It is far from perfect, but it was $1. Thought that looked awesome for $1. Got a Dark Mansion number 12. Hopefully that sticker. Okay, good. Nope, the sticker's on there, so I need to figure out how to get that sticker off there. And it's got that gnarly tear, of course. But hey, $1 looked awesome. Picked it up. Another clue to cover. We got Doorway to Nightmare, issue number 3. It's a lower grade as well, but it was $1, so who could complain? And then I just got from various deals. I think these are from like 3 different people. My one TMNT pickup of the show was Urban Legends 24. Now, I actually paid cover price for this because this is part of the Image run. So that's Turtles Volume 3, if you guys are keeping score. And it ran 23 issues back in the 90s, but when they reprinted them in the IDW run, they actually printed for the first time the last 3 issues to give that Image run a ending that was, a decade plus coming. So there's like 24, 25, and 26. I found 25 and 26 about 6 or 8 months ago. Got them for cover price as well, because sometimes that's what you got to do when you're collecting your Turtles backfill. You got to pay full price sometimes. But yeah, I have not seen a 24 in the wild at my local shop. So this was like the only one they had I think it was the only Turtle comic they had. So I guess it was just, assigned to buy the book for cover. So I did. So issue 24. So now I just got, I think, 2 issues left. I think 12 and 17. I have everything else. So I'm 2 issues away from completing volume 3 of Turtles. And I'm 2 issues away from completing volume 1 of Turtles. So very happy about that. Legend still talking about Drew. He says, Drew would be here, but I believe he's selling aluminum cans. Get that Series X somehow. Hey, buy that for $1, RoboCop style. So thanks for being here, Legend. You make these live streams worthwhile. So big shout out to the Legend. We got World Tree number 1. This is, I don't even know whose variant this is. There's like 100 variants for every modern book, but this is one of those comics. It's by James Tynion, and he's going to be at C2E2 with his artist who did this book as well. And I thought I was going to pull this book out of my collection and put it in my C2E2 pile. But turns out I guess I never bought this because I cannot find a copy in this room. So I'm going to put it in my read pile, and then it's going to go in my C2E2 pile because I was wanting to read it as well, of course. So happy I found a copy. It was $5, so basically cover price. I think it was a $4.99 book. If not, it was probably upcharged $1 since it's a variant. But World Tree, no idea what the book's about, but I'm looking forward to reading it and maybe getting it signed. We'll see. I believe this is a second printing, but it was slightly less than cover. House of Slaughter number 1. Like I said, I think based on my research, second print. You got to research all this stuff now because there's so many variants floating around for everything that's modern. But once again, Tynion's going to be there. His assistant artist or assistant writer on this is going to be there. And then obviously the artist of Something is Killing the Children is going to be there as well. So probably might get this triple signed if I like it. But $3. Once again, thought I was in the collection. Nowhere to be found. So apparently I misremembered. The final book of the day. Like I said, we're making this quick. Found Silver Surfer 34. Got a little bit of stainage I'd noticed right before going live, but I only paid $1 for this. That was a $2 book, just another person. They were selling mostly toys, but they had 4 short boxes sitting on their table, just There was like a various prices box, $1 box and $2, but then they just charged me $1 for this one anyway. So once again, I bought that for $1. So happy to get this. And I think Jim Starlin is going to Indiana Comic-Con, which I plan on going to. So maybe I get this signed. I do want to crack it open and see if there's like, I don't know if that's a coffee stain or a water stain. If it goes through the book, I'm probably just going to put it in the collection and then pay it forward for $1 later down the line. But yeah, other than that, presents really well for $1. So that was my comic haul from a local show about an hour away. So happy to find something out there finally. Half Price Books has kind of dried up over here recently. I used to get most of my hauls on Film My Tuesday Night live streams with that stuff. But like I said, just happy to find some nice, affordably priced books. All right, so now for a few plugs. We got Modern Men, should be hitting tomorrow night, hopefully around this time, maybe a little later, because I got to do a little bit of editing still. Once again, we gotta go fast to get all the content out. So Modern Men, we read X-Force from 2008. So I think it got mostly positive reviews, so that'll be kind of hitting this channel tomorrow night. Actually, before that, we had an X draft. So we drafted our own X-Men teams. And it was a lot of fun. So if you want to know more about that, tune in to Modern Men tomorrow, because it was a blast. Surprisingly, we had a ton of fun. And then you're probably wondering if I read any DC this week. So I will have my What's New in the DC Universe segment. I'm just going to record it straight up, and then I'll probably drop it Saturday morning. So if you guys have been enjoying seeing my digital DC reviews, I don't plan on letting up on those. I'm just going to drop it Saturday morning by itself on the side. So you'll be seeing some stuff. And then if there's anything else you want me to show on this channel or try out or whatever, I thought about doing like a YouTube Shorts where I like press a book basically. So kind of want to press this thing, to be honest. So I might try that out, see what happens. People watch, cool. If not, I know not to do another one basically. So big thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.